General Hospital spoilers reveal that Portia's falsification of Heather's test results is gradually spiraling out of control, making the situation increasingly complicated. Initially, Portia's only intention was to ensure that Heather, whom she deeply despised, would never have a chance to be set free. However, her action of altering the test results to keep Heather in prison has triggered a series of unintended consequences. Things worsened when Portia, fearing her actions would be discovered, struck a secret deal with Selina Wu, a highly influential figure in the criminal world who could shield her from legal trouble. Selina, ever the opportunist, seized this chance to turn the situation to her advantage. She manipulated Portia's fear and vulnerability, using it to control the situation in her favor, making Brad the scapegoat for the falsification. Given Brad's tainted reputation at the hospital, he was the easiest target for blame. His past involvement in altering test results made him the perfect fall guy. Meanwhile, Selina, pulling the strings from behind, used her influence to ensure that Brad would bear full responsibility for this scandal. Brad, though innocent, found himself entangled in a far larger conspiracy than he ever imagined. With his reputation already tarnished, Brad had little chance to defend himself against the accusations. Even though Portia knew the truth, she chose to remain silent to protect herself and preserve her agreement with Selina. She continued to stay on the sidelines, watching as Brad was dragged into the trouble she had directly caused. Meanwhile, all suspicion was focused on Brad, and the hospital launched an investigation into the tampering with Heather's test results. Brad not only faced suspicion from his colleagues, but also the danger of being used as a pawn by Selina in her power play. Portia, to protect her secret and her deal with Selina, continued to manipulate the situation, pushing Brad deeper into a perilous situation with no escape. Terry Randolph, with her kindness and sense of fairness, was determined to stand up for Brad and his rights as he became engulfed in these baseless accusations. Aware of Brad's past mistakes, but also recognizing his efforts to change and redeem himself, Terry felt a responsibility to defend him against the injustice he was facing. She fought tirelessly, leveraging all her influence at the hospital to demand a fair investigation to prove that Brad wasn't the one who altered Heather's test results. However, despite Terry's best efforts, things weren't progressing as she had hoped. Selina Wu, with her powerful influence behind the scenes, had set a clever trap to ensure Brad would be ensnared. The evidence, carefully orchestrated by Selina, all pointed directly to Brad, leaving him seemingly unable to escape the accusations. Despite Terry's efforts to explain and defend Brad, the hospital staff found it difficult to erase their suspicions due to his troubled past. Portia, despite secretly knowing the truth, remained silent, allowing the blame to fall squarely on Brad. This left Terry feeling increasingly helpless as she struggled to find any evidence to clear Brad's name, while the secret ties between Portia and Selina were too strong to break. Though Terry tried to wage a battle for justice on Brad's behalf, she soon realized she couldn't fight the power and influence Selina had built. Gradually, Terry understood that this battle was not just about Brad. It was a confrontation with hidden powers beyond her control. Though her heart was always guided by righteousness and justice, Terry began to see that sometimes justice could be manipulated by those with greater power. Will Terry find a way to save Brad, or will she be swept up in the web of power that Selina has spun? Brad is soon to face the worst decision of his career as he gets fired from General Hospital. After a series of suspicions and accusations regarding his alleged tampering with Heather's test results, Brad couldn't avoid losing his job, despite his efforts to prove his innocence. Even though Terry Randolph fought relentlessly to defend him, powerful forces like Selina Wu and the hospital's hidden politics rendered her efforts futile. Brad's dismissal not only cost him his job, but also left him in a precarious position, both financially and reputationally. With his main source of income gone, Brad had no choice but to continue working for Selina Wu, who had been silently pulling the strings all along. Selina used her influence to ensure that Brad had no chance of returning to the hospital, forcing him to rely on her for survival. For Brad, this was not only a personal failure, but also a descent into the criminal underworld he had long tried to avoid. Selina, fully aware of Brad's vulnerable position, took advantage of the situation to pull him into tasks he never wanted to be part of. With increasing pressure, Brad was forced to carry out assignments for Selina, even those he knew were wrong and could put him in even greater danger. Once a dedicated medical professional, Brad found himself being dragged deeper into the criminal world, with no option but to comply with Selina's demands. As Brad became more dependent on Selina, he began to feel lost and confused. Torn between his loyalty to the medical values he once stood for and the harsh reality Selina imposed on him, Brad struggled to find his way. Will he find a way to break free from Selina's control, or will he sink further into the world of crime that she has drawn him into? Only time will tell, but for now, Brad faces an uncertain and dangerous future.